We thought we'd take a quick moment to give you a tour of our completed Bunkie Life Hideaway Bunkie. This little cabin kit we got delivered about 2 years ago, and we spent the time building it and assembling it out here in the forest. And we started off with the foundation. We have 3 2x6s that have been laminated together to create a series of beams that we have rested on some patio type blocks, or the deck blocks there. You also notice around the base of the bunkie, what we did was we built the main foundation of the bunkie. Then we put on some pressure treated plywood, and the idea there is to stop any rodents or any animals kind of burrowing up into the bottom of the bunkie, because we also have in the bottom here we have a layer of R5 foam board insulation that the floor is then sat on inside the bunkie. So we didn't want anything getting into the foam, so we put a solid base there as well. And you'll see we've also used this butyl tape, which normally is used for like decks and protecting deck joists, things like that. I wrapped it all the way around the bunkie just to cover the seam between the base, the foundation, and the plywood and the bunkie itself, to try and tie it all together, because we do get quite a bit of snow here, and I didn't want snow packed up against the bunkie. That would cause any lateral movement of water. The actual kit itself is an interlocking kit of interlocking bricks or interlocking logs, and you see they've got these double grooves that interlock all of the logs together. So as you're putting it together, it's very much like a big Lego kit, and we just assembled it all together. We have double glazed windows and double glazed doors. The kit itself comes with the main structure itself. You're responsible for the foundation and for any roofing materials that you want to put in. We decided to go with a metal roof, but I don't know if you can tell the thickness there is pretty substantial, because we included 2 layers of R5 foam board insulation in the roof. Recently we've just installed some gutters. Well, we've just got to finish that bit off, but we installed some gutters to try and catch the water. We're going to deal with that in a future project. We also have another side window here, again fully double glazed. Both sides open up, and this is pretty nice for looking out onto the forest while you're having your breakfast or your tea in the morning. And around the back of the bunkie, it's a solid wall across the back. What we decided to do with our bunkie is we've built a small cabinet on the back, or a small hutch here, and this houses a diesel heater. Now, future state, it's also going to house things like batteries and other services that we want to try and incorporate into our bunkie. So you see, this little guy keeps us warm pretty much all night long. Just for reference, right now it is it's about dead on 0 degrees. Last night it was -2, so we'll see what the temperature's like when we get inside. But this little guy, we've had heating our bunkie for a few months. It has been phenomenal. This is a diesel heater that's you'd normally find in van conversions and things like that. And then in terms of actual diesel usage, I think I filled this up to the fill line about 3 days ago. So we've had 3 full nights of heat from the diesel heater. In terms of powering it, we normally have a 12-volt battery down here, just a regular car battery that we use to power the diesel heater. Recently, I've converted this to run off our Bluetti, which we recently got, and that is inside the bunkie. Let's go inside. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
It is nice and toasty in here. What's the temperature, Mass?
In here, we're 15. It was 19 before we kept the door open, going in and out and in and out and in and out this morning. But okay. It's 15 right now. Perfect. Very comfortable.
Excellent. All right, let's have a walk around the bunkie, and we'll show you some of the features of our hideaway bunkie. French doors we've spoken about. We added some beautiful curtains here, IKEA, nice and cost effective. We added the curtain rails all the way around, and our daughter made us some other curtains which do really well for just a bit of privacy. Our little eating area, so our little dining area. So we repurposed a spool, a cable spool there, and some chairs. Future state, we are planning on building a little breakfast nook. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, some storage benches and then a little table. I think on my wish list I'd like the table and storage benches to convert to an extra bed for one of the kids, but
alright, we'll see what happens.
We'll
see what happens. There's our beautiful window view again. We had a nice view yesterday. We were sat here having some breakfast and a couple of deer wandered by, and that was always nice to see. And then we have our kitchen area. So in our kitchen area, we built this a couple of weeks ago. We just used standard crates that we purchased rather than trying to fabricate some drawers. So we put some crates in there, and we just built this out of 2x3, fabricated up a frame and painted it all up, so it looks pretty nice. So.
And for future reference, that propane tank is going to be going into a little hutch outside.
Yeah. That one we're going to move outside so that we can use it for outside cooking and things like that. Down at the bottom there we have our little Bluetti powering the Bunkie. And so far we've actually been, well, the first one we had a little bit of trouble with. The display went all garbled and wonky, and so the Bluetti very kindly RMA'd it, took it back and sent us a brand new one. This one has been phenomenal. It's been powering the Bunkie since I charged it fully about I think 3 days ago. And what's it at right now, Ness?
64.
64%.
It's been running things like the diesel heater and lights and the water pump and what else?
Charging devices, lots of devices.
A lot of devices and headlamps and everything else all night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually been pretty well drained in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. The sink itself, here we have just a sink that we managed to get from Habitat for Humanity, and what we've done here is we've just kind of kept it simple. We've just got a couple of water containers. One of them is for waste, one of them is for full water, and I don't know if you can see, well, actually no, I know you can't see it down there, but there is a RV water pump that will be installed. Thank you, Mouse. So we installed an RV water pump which takes the water from the fresh water and then sends it up to the tap. Just like that. So that gives us a little bit of running water here, powered by the Bluetti. And for that, simply what we did was I picked up the cigarette lighter, the auxiliary cigarette lighter type component, and just wired the 12 volt directly into that, so we can just jack it straight into the Bluetti, and we have power at the Bunkie. Then we have our cubic mini stove, which was one of the first things we actually installed in here, I think, if I remember rightly, Mouse. This one
is the Grizzly.
I think did you load it up, or is it all clean?
It's all cleaned out.
It's all cleaned out, ready to go. When this thing's running, it gets this little Bunkie up to about 24, 25 degrees C. It can really heat up this space fairly quickly. So I've been pretty impressed with that.
I mean, last night it dropped down to about -3 before we went to bed.
Right.
It was about -2, -3. It was very cold, and it was 23 degrees in here.
Yeah. We also have on the floor here, you can see we have a vinyl plank floor. And we went with the vinyl plank because being here in the forest, we have a lot of pine needles, a lot of mud. We didn't want to stain up or damage any wood flooring, so we went with vinyl plank. It makes it much easier to clean, sweep up. The downside is obviously having a stove. So we've put a 2x2 ceramic tile embedded in the floor, into the floor there. And that worked out really well last night. There was all sorts of embers falling out.
Habitat again.
Habitat for Humanity. Yeah, Habitat. Yeah. We have our little tools for our cubic mini. Teeny tiny tools. And this, I installed this one yesterday. I pulled this off on Amazon. If you can just hold that for me, Mouse. This is a articulated arm with little hooks, and it's meant as a drying rack for hanging clothing on. So we put it here so that when we have the stove running, we can hang our wet clothing and things on the arm there, and it will slowly dry them off as we
Last night it dried 3 towels when we woke up this morning. They were all bone dry.
Down at the bottom there you can see we have the inlet for our diesel heater. I made one minor mistake with this when I built it. I put one of these dryer vents on that you may find at the store so that it would look rather nice. My thought originally was we'd have the flaps on here and they'll all be flapping away as the hot air came out. It doesn't work that well. It's not powerful enough to flap them, and it kind of stifles some of the heat. So I've got to come up with a new idea for that. I'm thinking maybe a black mesh or something for that. And then the control panel comes through here for the diesel heater. So right now you can see in here it's 16 degrees and we're on level 3, and the diesel heater is just maintaining 16 there.
And that's another job that's going to be, the wire's going to be tidied up.
Yeah, we'll put some sort of conduit on there and tidy that wire up. Coming up next we have our bunk bed futon.
Your pièce de résistance.
My pièce de résistance. So this unit I built this week. So it's all made of 2x6 and some 2x4s and some 1x4s. And so the top there, the top bunk, is usually where our daughter sleeps. It's a pretty nice, actually, pretty spacious area.
She's got her own little shelf, a little light.
And when you're up there, you actually get a nice view of the bunkie. It is a full extra space that we have up there, which is pretty cool. Down here, the sofa area, this actually slides out and the back piece falls flat, creating a double-sized bed. And again, it's very substantial. It's really comfortable, right? Nice. We spent a couple of nights on that, and it is very nice.
Didn't want to get up.
And of course we have the steps at the side here to get up. I made these out of some solid 2x10 and 2x6s. My original thinking behind this was it might be adults sleeping up there, so I wanted something fairly substantial to be able to easily climb up and down. So we also have like a pipe rail on the side here, just to make things a little bit easier to get up and down. And then finally, the final corner that we're still working on is our storage area. And so that we're going to end up building some shelves and some cupboards into that, maybe a little window seat there, just to tidy things up and get rid of the plastic and make it a little bit more cabiny. And then Mouse's final find at Winners, I think it was, this rather nice little coat hook stand.
It was $400 had it been new. And it was a final sale, please get rid of it before we put it in the dumpster kind of situation at $60, just because it had a couple of cracks and one of these hooks had broken off, but was still with it. So Mr. I can fix anything here, just fix it all, and it matches the bunkie. So yeah.
So that is our tiny cabin. That is our little bunkie. I am really thrilled. I love coming up here. Like just being able to wake up and look outside at the forest, see the wildlife walking by.
This last weekend has been like a game changer, I think, because we've had the bed in position and certain things now established, the Bluetti power, everything in place that makes this place much more cozy and cabiny and less like you're just camping in a wooden tent. It's not like that anymore. It's more like an actual cabin now. So
if you want your own hideaway bunkie like this, then talk to the people over at Bunkie Life.
Like this. You can't have this one.
No, you can't have this one. This one's mine. This one's ours. This one's ours. You can't have this one. But talk to the people over at Bunkie Life. They'll be able to hook you up with this exact model. They have a few other designs as well. They can help you out with that. Hopefully this has given you some ideas as to what you could do with your bunkie or your tiny cabin, and I would be thrilled to hear any feedback from you guys as to how we can either improve this or ideas for our storage area that we need to build in the corners. What should we take into account? I was thinking maybe some sort of longish things so you can hang long jackets or skis.
Yeah, I almost took you seriously for a second. We have this for long jackets. I think it should be a shelving, like nooks.
Shelves.
And then we could just...
Shelves with little wooden crates, maybe?
And then a storage bench at the bottom for big stuff.
Yeah.
And then as long as we have a doggy nook.
A doggy nook down
We need a doggy nook down here. Then we're good. But, you know, we've got the entire winter to work that out.
Thank you for joining us on our little bunkie tour. And any questions, throw them below. Bye.
Stop doing that.
Just say goodbye. That's all you got to do. Just say goodbye. When I zoom in, you say goodbye.
Bye.